you. Thank you. So first of all, Dan, I think you got the coolest socks award, so yes. So good evening, everyone. I just wanted to, before I got into my presentation, acknowledge and thank Dr. Pollard for inviting me to come and share the work that we've been doing here in Montgomery County. And it's not surprising that being the wonderful, fearless, kind, and brave leader that she would be leading not just the college, but maybe even our county in a conversation about innovation. So can we give her a round of applause, please? So community is the source or is a source for innovation. Community is, whether we like it or not, know it or not, realize it or not, we are all there, right? And it's a place where I have done my work with intention. Now, this was not a setup. And Dan, you and I are connecting on so many fronts tonight, not just the socks, but I don't know if you knew, but I went to college with somebody from Lawrence, South Carolina. And that's quite a coincidence given how small Lawrence is. But here's the other coincidence. I got a picture from my school days too.
You got hair.
Yeah, I got hair, yeah. That's actually a wig, So this is me and my best friend, Randy Bowler, and this is during my high school senior year. And the reason why I have this here is because I want to tell you a little bit about the community. Everybody say community. The community that I grew up in Miami, Florida. It was an African-American, working class neighborhood where everybody knew everybody's name. We had each other's back. And there was no such thing as homelessness or hunger because we were the kind of community that was connected, right? And you know the story, right? You've heard it over and over again, but if you did something on one side of the community or neighborhood that some of y'all are nodding because you had this too, right? On one side of the community that you were not supposed to be doing, there was such a spirit of the kids belong to everybody, right? And everybody was raising everybody's kids, right? That by the time you got home, the problem and the answer were already there. Everybody's mama was everybody's mama. We were just a really close-knit community, and we worked, or at least our parents and our elders did, they worked together to determine our destiny as much as they could as a neighborhood and as a people. There's one other thing about my community that you might have had in your community too. And if you've been watching any of the movies or going to plays, or if you're aware on any level of pop culture, we had Medea in our community too, right? She was 6'5", she was about 250 pounds, she had a big car, and we think she probably carried a gun. She probably carried a gun. That's right, she probably carried a gun. And she wore all kinds of wigs, but she took care of all of the kids in our community. And when trouble broke out, whether it was with the kids or whether it was with the adults, she was the go-to in our community. And so it was a connected community, it was a loving community, it was a community where we held each other accountable and we supported each other. And what I realized as I got into my professional career is that everything that I've done, when I went to college, when I left college and went into corporate America briefly, and then went out of corporate America back into the nonprofit sector, I realized that wherever I was trying to recreate that kind of community, and I've been blessed to be able to do that professionally in so many ways. So let me just tell you a little bit about a discipline that we use at Impact Silver Spring called community-based social networks. Who has a Facebook account? Put your hand in the air like you just don't care. Who has Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, all of those things, right? Well, community-based social networking is basically all of those things in real life with real people, right? And it is the kind of community, as I look around the room, that most of us probably grew up in, a little bit like mine, right? Where we were connected, we knew each other, we took care of each other, we held each other accountable, so on and so forth. And so in the work we've been doing at Impact, we've been trying to kind of bring back the best of old school communities. And these were two of our guiding principles. People who have strong connections and who are a part of diverse networks are healthier, more economically secure, and participate more fully with each other in community life. And the second one, we think that this is particularly helpful and important, especially in a context where we have people coming from all over the world who find this context as new and sometimes intimidating, right? We have come to understand that the small group is a space where people can build community, feel a sense of belonging, everybody say belonging, and build confidence to take risks to improve their lives and their neighborhoods. And so in 2010, we had the census, and above the fold, Washington Post, Montgomery County becomes majority minority. Don't you just hate that term? Majority minority, right? So it becomes majority minority. And a little bit before then and ever since then, for some folks, the sky has been falling. But for lots of folks saw it coming and were trying to adjust to figure out, okay, what can we do to really embrace this and make this a productive part of our future? And so I won't go into all of the conversation that I know you've already had about this shift, but some of the things that Montgomery County has been known for being white, known for being wealthy, known for being well-educated, and known for being well-positioned close to DC, so on and so forth. But some of the challenges, right? Diverse, right? It's tough living in a diverse community. It takes a level of intention and truth-telling and loving each other to be in a diverse community, one as diverse as ours. Division, East County, West County, Up County. I was just telling the Delegate Charles Barkley, yes, that I don't get over to Germantown as much because I live on the east side of the county over in White Oak, right? But I bet you there's a bunch of folks in Germantown that don't get to the east side of the county. Matter of fact, I learned recently that there are a lot of folks who don't even know that White Oak is in Montgomery County, right? Which was strange to me, right? But division, disparities, right? We hear them over and over again, health disparities and education gaps and income gaps and so on and so forth. And all of this disabling us. I wanted to say paralyzed, but the P didn't work as well as the D. So disabled, but paralyzed by these challenges. And so as we looked at the kind of where we've come from and the challenges in our context, this is how we frame kind of our future forward, right? Our future prosperity, we're a county that's known for prosperity, and our quality of life may be well determined by our willingness and ability to do these three things. To gain the skills and the will to thrive in a pluricultural, everybody say pluricultural. Okay, I only got a few minutes, but I know I got to explain. I'm on a college campus. I got to explain what pluricultural is. All right, so the reason why we use the term pluricultural, David Sears is looking at me. Where is Ronnie going with this? All right, so diversity is a word that we use a lot, right? When we talk about cultural mix and other kinds of mixes. Well, our own kind of study and awareness of this word suggests that the word diverse really was used when white folks were trying to understand and grapple with how they related and how the rest of the world related to them, right? And so the word's been around for a while and it means lots of things. And then along came multicultural. Everybody say multicultural. Multicultural means that all the different cultures, probably like today, right? All in the same space, right? But neither diversity nor multicultural deal with the dynamic of power. Everybody say power. And decision making. And so we just made up a word. We made up a word. Pluricultural. All the cultures together, but no one group dominates. Right? No one group dominates. So my wife hates the word and she tells me to stop using it, but I can't. It makes sense. So, all right. So that's the first thing. The second thing is and this is what places like Montgomery College are designed for, right? To nurture the rich base of human capital and talent that exists beyond the reach of our traditional formal institutions. Now, clearly, Montgomery College is a formal institution, But as we've been watching Dr. Pollard, David Sears, Carla Silvestri, a whole bunch of other folks, we see the college moving from the traditional space into a non-traditional space, reaching out into community. And so we need more of that from our formal institutions, and we need to recognize those informal spaces that are already doing it. And then lastly, to deploy innovative models for economy and participation in the public square. We are a democracy, right? And we believe that there is a kinder, gentler, and braver version of capitalism that we can practice together. And so all of this comes together in a small circle, right? And we think some of the best things that have ever happened in the history of the world have happened in small groups, right? And we call the small group in our world the opportunity circle. It's a small tailored space where people come together to build confidence, relationships, and networks. Everybody say networks, because that's what we're going to talk about. That leverage social capital, how people relate, how people connect to each other. Do I trust you? Can we work together? Do I honor, not just tolerate you, but do I honor you, right? How do we leverage all of that to create new economic and civic impact in our community? So let me just tell you a little bit about the folks who are already in these circles, and I'll tell you a little bit about the work they've been doing and how this might relate to education, right? So 90% of them are women. 66% of them are Latino, 30% African American, including continental African and folks from the Caribbean. My wife's from Jamaica. Love Jamaica. 72% are married. Now, these are folks who are part of what we call the struggling and overcoming group in Montgomery County. So they probably wouldn't show up in a room like this, right? And there are lots of myths about them. Let me just say this again. 72% of them are married. 72% of them are married, right? 70% of them have at least one child at home. 60% speak Spanish as their first language. 70% of them are employed or working on some kind of income-generating project, right? So they're not unemployed. They're not just sitting at home on the couch. They're like really, really working, but they're stuck like the rest of us. And 80% of them make less than $40,000 a year in a county where I think the self-sufficiency wage is pushing $80,000 for a family of four. So effectively, they're in poverty, right? And having to rely on some level of social services. And so as we bring folks into these circles and are working on all kinds of projects, and what they're doing is all we're doing is we're teaching them how to build their networks around either economic or civic goals that are important to them. They have to take an entrance exam. And the entrance exam is this. I'm going to ask you to ponder on this question. What would you do if, everybody say if, if you knew for certain that you would not fail? I asked a woman in the bread aisle at Giant, right off of Piney Branch Road, right off Flower Avenue in Long Branch. I asked her that question. Didn't know her from Adam or Eve, and she broke into tears. And some of you are sitting there with that question. Maybe you may think it's not a good question. We think it's a pretty profound question, actually. But you're sitting there wondering about all the things that you could or should or that you wanted to do. Right? This is the question we're asking folks as they enter into the space of building networks to help answer this question. And these are the kinds of things that people are doing around the county. So Edo Sal Sewing Circle, which is probably on this side, yes. A group of Central American women who are isolated, dealing with all kinds of issues, domestic violence, depression, trying to figure out the North American context, came together to form their own sewing co-op. The Cooking Circle, with Carla's help, David, some other folks, a group of women came together. They're forming their own cooking and catering company, and they're taking classes actually at Montgomery College in the community, so they can get their certification. A youth job circle, right? Using networks, I got it up there twice because it's so good. It's so twice we had to call it twice. So nice we had to call it twice. Youth job circle, young people coming together to build their networks for employment and earning income. Two circles, one in Long Branch, one in Wheaton, learning language, people supporting each other and holding each other accountable around language acquisition. Academic excellence. There's a group of African American leaders, more middle class, who are coming together to deal with the issue of achievement gap, the achievement gap. So all kinds of things that people are doing together to actually either make change in their lives or make change in the life of their community. I'm almost done here. And these are the kinds of things that happen when they're in those circles, right? There's clear goals, but the fundamental work of the circle is right at the bottom, the mutual support and accountability, right? And so as opposed to us or a caseworker or anybody else saying, what did you do today? They're actually having to talk to their peers. Imagine that. Imagine if we just talk to our peers and we just talk regularly about what it is that we're dreaming about and then how we're doing against that dream and then what support we could get from our peers to do that. And then the other piece is expanding their networks. And so I want to show you how this works. I'll give you a real world example of how this works. So Park Montgomery families, all East African, 8 Ethiopians and 1 Kenyan, right? Knocked on their doors. We do a lot of door knocking, right? We probably knocked on y'all's door, right? We do a lot of door knocking, bring them out to meet their neighbors, and we get them to answer that question together. What would you do if you knew for certain that you would not fail? And how could you support each other and hold each other accountable? Well, several of them came together, and we asked them, this is them in the blue. You see those blue dots there? This is called a network map. It's a small version of a network map. We measured the activity of one circle. You see those lines in between those dots? Those lines and those arrows, and I don't know if you can see that in the back, they indicate the direction of a request to connect, right? It's either a request for support, or it's some kind of accountability reach, or it's trying to initiate some kind of exchange between somebody that you did not know. This was them when they started the project. You can see the blue dots. There's some that were isolated from the others. And there wasn't a whole lot of connectivity. We call this social capital. The connectivity is social capital between the blue dots. And you see these other government, health, faith, family, nonprofit business. There wasn't a whole lot of reported connection to them, right? Here's what they look like 18 months later, right? And I didn't bring the one that's blown up that shows all the colors that started popping up on the side. But what I want you to see, what's most important is you see the connections between them. That's trust, that's support, that's accountability, that's reciprocity, that's you told me your dream and I will not tolerate you failing. That's what that is, right? And so watch this, I'm almost done. So we were tracking these things the whole time. Now, we don't give away food, we don't give people's beds, right? We don't give people clothes, we don't do anything like that. All we do is we create environments for folks to build confidence, trust, and to connect to people who are different than them in pursuit of aspirations they might have. And every indicator, oh, purple, sorry, I gotta stay on the purple circle, right? Every indicator went up. And the punchline is, let me go back to that. This same group, they don't have a whole lot of money. Some of them are working intermittently, right? This same group, all the projects they have, learning a language, getting their kids into school, getting certifications so they can get a better job. As a side project, they decided to save money together. They saved $13,000 in 7 months. And a lot of that is because of the trust and the support and the accountability that is between them. And so I leave you with this question. What if every Montgomery County student, faculty member, and administrator was trained to intentionally grow their social networks around aspirations related to their own future and the future of our society? And we measured it, and we would do it and hold it like a grade for every other class. And if we did it in a way refusing to allow any of us to fail. I'm hoping we can dialogue on that question when we do the Q&A. Thank you very much.